Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Anna Morphides with Mending Hearts Counseling, and today is day 18. I can't believe it. So 18, 19, 20, 21. We only have 4 more days to go of this beautiful workshop of healing our anxious attachment style so we can change our negative self-view into a positive self-view. So then we can start to create different cycles of experience for us in relation to other people and or situations, so then we can get out of our tendency to want to feel anxious, because anxiety is worrying about the future, and then we become anxious about the possibility of that which we want to not happen for us because of our past conditioning and our unhelpful core beliefs. And it's almost like we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, perhaps a new job. This is what anxious attachment style does to us. It keeps us in a state of worry and a step below everyone else because of that negative self-view. Therefore, we tend to want to cling to others, to want to receive that which we did not as children, but now we are recreating that for ourselves by raising our vibration through gratitude and cultivating self-love, because love really is the answer to everything, because that is what causes and any one of the attachment styles that is not a secure attachment style is really basically, it comes down to lack of love received as a child in one of the particular S's that we need to develop a secure attachment style, to be safe, seen, secure, and soothed. One of them did not receive that love that it needed, so it was not able to be it was never able to flourish from within us. So we're going to do that. We're going to continue to be doing that today, right here on this channel. And we're going to start off with our book, The Magic, because gratitude is the best way to change any other feeling that we may have. We cannot be resentful and grateful at the same time. We cannot be sad or angry and grateful at the same time. Like, the predominant emotion that is really easy to create is gratitude, because we can do it anywhere, anytime, just purely by thinking about things from a different perspective and being grateful. So instead of seeing what we are lacking, focusing on what we actually have. Because the power of gratitude is, the more grateful we are for the things that we have now, the more opportunities we create for more things to be grateful for to come into our life. So day 19 is all about magic footsteps. 100 times every day, I remind myself that my inner and outer life depend on the labors of other men, living and dead, and that I must exert myself in order to give in the same measure as I have received and I'm still receiving. So this is a quote from Albert Einstein. I want to reread this again. 100 times every day, I remind myself that my inner and outer life depend on the labors of other men, living and dead, and that I must exert myself in order to give in the same measure as I have received, and I am still receiving. I'm not sure I'm quite getting this, actually. I have to sit with this for a second. I don't know why it's not resonating right now. If any of you got anything from this little quote, I'd love to hear it in the comment box, but I'll sit with this and see what it is that it's actually trying to say. Okay, so she starts off the chapter, the author of this book, Rhonda Byrne, was saying, with those words, Einstein gave us a gift equal to his scientific discoveries. He gave us one of the magical secrets to his success, gratitude, every day. Okay, so that's what he was meaning. I must exert myself in order to give in the same measure as I have received. Okay. Einstein is the inspiration behind today's magical practice, and you're going to follow in his footsteps to bring successes to your life. Today, like Einstein, you will say thank you 100 times, and you're going to do it by taking 100 magic footsteps. While it might seem unbelievable to you that taking footsteps can make a difference to your life, you will discover that it is one of the most powerful things you can do. God gave you a gift of 86,400 seconds today. Have you used one to say thank you? Okay, so that's how many seconds we are, I guess, supposed awake in a day. Well, I have been practicing my gratitude way more than usual, I have to say, and it is working. And I have been saying that wonderful saying, thank you for the wonderful news. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the news that I'm receiving today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll have to, when I go to bed tonight and I do my magic rock, I'll have to think about, excuse me, what wonderful news it is that I received today. So to take the magic footsteps, you can take one step and in your mind, say the magic words, thank you, as your foot touches the ground. And then again, say thank you as your other foot touches the ground. One foot, thank you. Next foot, thank you. And continue saying the magic words with every footstep. I don't remember doing this the first time around, but I'm going to do this tomorrow because it's a little bit late right now. The best thing about magic footsteps is that you can take any number of magic footsteps anywhere at any time throughout your house from one room to another. Oh, yeah, I guess I'll do that while I'm getting ready for bed. While I walk around everywhere, I will do that. Walking to get your lunch or coffee, taking the trash out, walking to a business meeting, on your way to catch a cab, train, or bus. You can take magic footsteps on your way to anything that is important to you, like exams, a date, a job interview, an audition, to meet a client, to the bank, ATM. Wow, okay. So I take magic footsteps around my home, from my bed to my bathroom, kitchen to my bedroom, and outside to my car and the mailbox. Whenever I walk down a street or walk anywhere, I choose a point, excuse me, as my destination, and I put gratitude in my footsteps all the way. If you take notice of how you're feeling before you begin, then you will notice a big difference in how you feel after you've taken magic footsteps. It doesn't matter if you can't get much of a feeling of gratitude while you're walking them. I promise you that you will still feel happier afterward. If you're feeling down, magic footsteps will make you feel better. And even if you're feeling great, magic footsteps will lift your spirits even higher. And this is true because I feel like yes, my days sometimes are super challenging, but every time I come here and I do this gratitude, or in the morning when I'm doing more gratitude again, it does work and it does put me in a better feeling state. And then I have been really practicing, like when I go through my day, like today, about things that were taking place in my day. I was giving it gratitude and thanks before it even happened, with a knowing that it was going to go exactly as I had hoped for. It would be blissful and wonderful and great. And and it turns out that it was. To take the most effective magic footstep, take magic footsteps for about 90 seconds. 90 seconds. This is how long it will take the average person to take 100 steps at a leisurely pace. 90 seconds. That's a minute and a half. Okay, that's doable. This practice is not about taking 100 steps exactly, but taking at least that number of steps, because it will probably take that number of footsteps to make a difference to the way you feel. Once you're clear on the approximate distance, you can take your 100 steps of gratitude at any time during the day. Don't count the footsteps when you're doing the practice, because you'll be counting instead of saying thank you. When you have completed today's magical practice, you will have said the magic words thank you 100 times. And how many days of your life have you said thank you 100 times? And Einstein did it every day. I had no idea. I don't remember this. Wow, and Albert Einstein is a genius, and he actually did believe in manifestation. So I'd love it if we can check in with each other and see after we do our 100 magic footsteps to see what happens. So for our magical practice number 19, we're going to count our blessings, as always, in the morning, first thing. We're going to say 10 things that we're grateful for in our life. And then I strongly suggest and urge you and would love for you to say 5 of those things. Gratitude about yourself, things that you are so grateful about yourself for, whether it is a body part or all of your body, or a certain talent that you have, or a certain, like, something that you really enjoy about yourself. Whatever it is, I want you to say it out loud and celebrate it. And then don't forget to say the reason why. And then thank you after it, to really anchor in that feeling of gratitude. So today I am, so grateful to my family, because I get to have a family, and they do bring joy into my life, and they do enrich it. So thank you. And then we're going to take our 100 steps, and then with each footstep we're going to say thank you. And then just before we go to sleep, we're going to hold our magic rock, and we're going to think about the best thing that happened to us today, so then we can prevent ourselves from going into rumination about the things that went wrong, or what we could have done different, or what we could have done better. Because even today, sometimes I catch myself, even when I'm driving, about things that I've done in the past that unfolded in a way that was not good. I still want to ruminate about that. But now, after doing all these practices and giving myself so much self-love and forgiveness, it actually doesn't have so much power anymore when I have the thought. Because before, I'd have the thought and I would be flushed with like guilt and shame. Now at least I can have the thought and I can just be with the thought. Like, I'm a witness to it, but I don't allow it to dictate how I'm going to be feeling. And I also don't really tend to cringe as much too. Or like have that inner dialogue of like, how could you be so stupid? How could you have done that? If anything, I always just say, I forgive you. You were doing the best that you could with the awareness that you had in the moment. And then I picture myself asking for forgiveness for whoever I may have hurt unintentionally. And yeah, that's how I deal with it now. And then I also picture that other person and or situation forgiving me back, accepting my forgiveness. And I create that experience in my mind, because our subconscious mind does not know if it's taking place in reality or it is being created in our mind. That's why manifestation works. And that's why by using the power of imagination and really embodying that feeling of that imagination is the secret to manifestation. Like, that feeling state of the end result of your desire is that which will bring in that experience, because you're imagining it. Oh, didn't Albert Einstein say that if you can imagine it, you can become it? I think he did. And that's exactly what he meant. If you can imagine it, you can become it. So we're going to continue to become love with Louise Hay. We're going to day 18 of healing our inner child, cultivating self-love. And day 18 is all about receiving prosperity. Are you a magnet for miracles, money, prosperity, and abundance? Today you learn how you can be when you open yourself to receiving. This is a good time to go back and look at the notes you wrote in your journal when you first started this course. Do you see how much you have learned? Can you see how much more comfortable you are with saying your affirmations in front of the mirror? You are a magnet for miracles. Do you believe that you are also a magnet for money, prosperity, and abundance? There is so much abundance in the world right now, just waiting for you to experience it. There is more money than you could ever spend. There is more joy than you could ever imagine. There are more people than you could ever meet. If you fully understood this, you would realize that you can have everything you need and desire. And this is so true. We are completely limitless. The only thing that can limit us from experiencing life exactly as we want it is our minds. That's it. Our mind and the things that it has been conditioned to believe to be true, outside of the truth that if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Or is it, yes, if you can imagine it, you can become it, or if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. That saying by Albert Einstein, I'm pretty sure. Yes, we are limitless being with unlimited potential to experience anything we want in this life. So the power within us is willing to give us our fondest dreams and enormous abundance in an instant. Are we open to receiving it? If we want something, the universe doesn't say, I'll think about it. It readily responds and sends it through. However, you must be open and ready in order to receive it. I have noticed that sometimes when people come to my lectures, they sit with their arms folded across their chest. How are they going to let anything in? It is a wonderful gesture to open your arms wide so the universe notices and responds. I invite you to do that right now. Stand up, open your arms, and say, I am open and receptive to all the good and the abundance in the universe. Now shout it from the rooftops for everyone to hear. I am open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. Prosperity can mean many things: money, love, success, comfort, beauty, time, knowledge. You create prosperity by talking and thinking about your abundance. You cannot create prosperity by talking or thinking about your lack. When you concentrate on lack, it only creates more lack. Poverty thinking brings more poverty. Gratitude thinking brings more abundance. These two authors are very aligned in what they say, aren't they? Your mirror work is a very powerful tool that will help you bring more prosperity into your life. When you allow the abundance of the universe to flow through your experiences, you can receive everything you desire. All it takes is practice and you mirror. Whatever you give out comes back to you, always. That's right. What you put in, it comes back. Input equals output, always. If you take from life, then life will take from you. It's that simple. You may feel that you do not steal, but are you counting the paper clips and stamps you are taking home from the office? Are you a person who steals time or robs others of respect? Are these things all telling the universe, I don't really deserve the good in life, I have to sneak it, steal it? Be aware of the beliefs that may be blocking the flow of money and prosperity in your life. Then use your mirror work to change those beliefs and create new abundant thinking. The best thing you can do if you are having money problems is to develop prosperity thinking. There are 2 prosperity affirmations I have used for many, many years that work really well for me. My income is constantly increasing and I prosper wherever I turn. My income is constantly increasing and I prosper wherever I turn. I'm definitely going to be using these. My income is constantly increasing and I prosper wherever I turn. When something, excuse me, my throat is still healing. When something good comes into your life, say yes to it. Open yourself to receiving the good. Once a day, stand up with your arms open and wide and say, I am open and receptive to all of the abundance in the universe. Thank you, life. And life will hear you and respond. So let's affirm. Life supplies all my needs in great abundance. I trust life. Amazing. Sometimes I do look up at the sky, actually, especially now that it's summertime. And like, I will open up my arms and I will sit there and take it all in and I will pray. I actually do like to pray to God, but it's, source, energy, like creator, whatever it is that you want to, or what resonates with you more. But I do give my gratitude so much to that greater power that has the seasons come and go, the flowers bloom, the tides go up and down, the sun rise and set. Like that greater magical power is actually us as well. Oh my gosh. And I read this most beautiful quote in one of my friend's Instagram posts today. She said she was posting a birthday shout out to herself, and she put, the day God decided that he couldn't live without you is your birthday. And I was like, oh my God, that is like the sweetest thing. Think about that. Your birthday is the day that God decided that he couldn't live without you. And remember that God does not want to give us anything that we cannot handle. Like, we have signed up for all these. And yes, we wouldn't be here if he didn't want us to be here. And we just have to go and understand what we need to heal. And then we do the work so then we can just live happily ever after, because it turns out that this is the point of life and living. So she urges us to strongly, like Louise Hay, the author of this book, she's urging us to think about our beliefs about money. And she wants us to go to the mirror and look into our eyes and say, my biggest fear about money. And then we have to fill in our fear. My biggest fear about money is, and then we fill in our fear. So my biggest fear about money, actually, I don't really have any fears about money anymore. I know that it's always going to be coming. I used to have fears about money, but I don't now because I've done so much work on it. So my biggest fear about money is, I guess my biggest fear about money is, it's not even, I guess my biggest fear about money is that I would want people in my family to be able to view it as I view it, so they can stop feeling a lack and have that always like dissatisfactory relationship with it, where they're like angry when they have to pay taxes or bills, or they always feel like they don't have enough. My biggest fear is that the world will not wake up to see what it actually means to be abundant and have gratitude for what we have now, so we can receive more later, as opposed to focusing on the lack. And I really hope that my children do not acquire things like that, because money blocks are like a really big deal, because money is just so important, and something that we use like every day. And then she wants us to think, why do we feel this way about our biggest fear? And I guess I feel this way because I witness it in my daily life. And it makes me not necessarily sad, but like it makes me feel a bit bad that we weren't taught this from the beginning. But instead, like she says, what did we learn about money as a child? Like what we learned about money as a child is like, it's really hard to make. Money is really hard to make. People get lucky, but that's not true. Like what we should be taught, or what would be the best way to think about money is abundant everywhere. Anything you choose to decide will give you the right amount of money that you need to have a successful and fulfilling life. Money is easy to make, right? Like things like that. But from my parents, I was taught that money is hard to make. And then if you have this mentality, then work feels hard, everything feels hard. But no, it should be like, money is easy to make. Money comes to me. Money is fun to make. So how are finances handled in your family? How do you handle money now? Write your thoughts down and see if you can see any patterns. And then let's do some journaling to shift ourselves into prosperity thinking. Write down what it would be like to have all of the things that we have always wanted. What would they be? What would your life look like then? Where would you travel? What would you do? And then let's feel it and enjoy it and be creative, and let's have fun. Wow, this is very similar to what we did yesterday. So that would be kind of fun to redo the same envisioning of all the things that we were wanting to enjoy yesterday to today. Okay, and as we get settled for day 18 meditation, I would like to invite you to sit upright or be lying down. And then today we're definitely gonna have our arms wide open, ready to receive. You can have them open like this. Like you can't see them on the screen, but I have them on my knees and I'm sitting cross-legged with my palms open, ready to receive all the goodness from the universe. My spine is straight and open. My third eye chakra is also open. I'm ready to receive. I envision even through my crown chakra that there's like a funnel of light that's just coming in and it's filling me and it's energizing all of my 7 energy points, helping them spin. And I'll invite you to close your eyes. I hear my puppy whining at the door, so I'm going to slowly just let him in before I start. I guess he wants to join us as well. Okay, so as you are settling down, as always, picture your 7 chakras spinning just so wonderfully, one after the other, all the colors of the rainbow, bringing in so much love and prosperity and abundance. There's a rainbow that's running right through your body right now, just bringing you so much peace and so much joy and so much love. You feel it all the way into your cells, and all of your cells and yourselves and your cells. Everyone is just rejoicing this new way of being, shifting into this new abundant mindset, truly knowing that if you can achieve it, you can become it. Sorry, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Or if you can imagine it, you can become it. And with that being said, we're going to keep our breaths nice and easy and slow and flowy. Breathing, the goodness. Breathing out anything that's not serving. And here we go. Your heart today will say, I am a yes person. I know that I am one with all of life. I am surrounded by and permeated with infinite wisdom. I rely totally on the universe to support me in every positive way. Everything I could possibly need is already here waiting for me. This planet has more of everything on it that I could ever possibly imagine. There is more money that I could ever possibly spend. There are more people that I could ever possibly meet. And so much more love that I could ever possibly experience. I say yes to opportunity and prosperity. I do not waste my time on negative thinking or negative subjects. No matter what I choose to believe or think or say, the universe always says yes. I choose to see myself and life in the most positive of ways. Yes, I am living in a yes world. I rejoice that this is so. I am so grateful to be one with the universal wisdom and backed by universal power. And remember that you can never create prosperity by talking about or thinking about your lack. This is wasted thinking and cannot bring you abundance. Dwelling on lack only creates more lack. Poverty thinking brings more poverty. Gratitude brings abundance. Grateful thinking brings you more abundance. There are a few attitudes and affirmations that are guaranteed to keep prosperity beyond reach. Resenting other people for the amount of money they have just puts up a wall between you and your own flow. And negative affirmations like there is never enough money and money goes out faster than it comes in represents poverty thinking of the worst kind. The universe can respond only to what you believe about yourself and about life. Examine whatever negative thoughts you have about money and then decide to let them go. They have not served you well in the past, and they will not serve you well in the future. You can buy an occasional lottery ticket for fun, but do not put a lot of attention into winning the lottery and thinking that will solve your problems. This is scarcity thinking and will not create lasting good. Winning the lottery seldom brings positive changes in anyone's life. In fact, most lottery winners lose almost all of their winnings within the first 2 years and are often worse off financially than before they won. If you think that winning the lottery will solve all your problems, you are greatly mistaken, because it doesn't involve changing your consciousness. In effect, you're saying to the universe, I don't deserve to have good in my life except by a fluke. If you change your thinking to allow the abundance of the universe to flow through your experience, you can have all the things you think the lottery can bring you. And you will be able to keep them because they will be yours by right of consciousness. Affirming, declaring, deserving, and allowing are the steps to attracting riches far greater than you could ever win in a lottery. Affirming, declaring, deserving, allowing. Open your consciousness to new ideas about money and it will be yours. If you want to bring more money and prosperity into your life, repeat these affirmations with feeling. I am a magnet for money. Prosperity of every kind is drawn to me. At work, I am deeply appreciated and well compensated. I live in a loving, abundant, harmonious universe, and I am so grateful. I am open to the unlimited prosperity that exists everywhere. The law of attraction brings only good into my life. I move from poverty thinking to prosperity thinking, and my finances reflect this change. Good comes to me from everywhere and everyone. I express gratitude for all the good in my life. Each day brings wonderful new surprises. I pay my bills with love, and I rejoice as I write out each check. Abundance flows freely through me. I deserve the best, and I accept the best now. I release all resistance to money and allow it to flow joyously into my life. My good comes from everywhere and everyone. And so it is. If you are just so nicely relaxed and imagining a new relationship and connection to money or even love or anything that you want to experience more of that feels that maybe a bit of a lack of right now, I invite you to just sit and think of the complete opposite. How much of it actually does exist, because I know sometimes, or a lot of the times for us, with an insecure attachment style, when we grow up and we are in our adult romantic relationships, we can very much feel that lack of love. because the type of person that we usually will draw in order to show us what our attachment style is in the first place will probably be that of an avoidant, and they're not able to give us what we need because an avoidant will do everything to basically avoid. But we, with anxious attachment style, what we tend to do and want to do is talk about it, reflect on it. So like, I lost my train of thought here a little bit, but I guess what I'm trying to say, I forgot what I was trying to say, to be honest. This is so terrible. This doesn't happen to me very often, but I'll just leave it at that. Oh yes, sitting with those thoughts. Sitting with the thoughts of not being in lack, because that's where I was going, because a lot of the times with anxious attachment style, there is a perceived notion that there is lack in receiving love because we're kind of chasing it still, as if we're that little child chasing it from my primary caregiver. So we're gonna shift that mindset and see how much love there actually is in our life and continue to cultivate that self-love for ourselves so we can eventually be matched by the outside world, because no one, other people can only love us to the extent that we love ourselves. Other people can only love us to the extent that we love ourselves. So the more we love ourselves, the more prone we're going to be to people loving us that much more too. So I just want to extend my love and my gratitude to you. I am so grateful and thankful. Your comments mean everything to me. Your encouragement to keep going, because sometimes, actually a lot of times, I also do still get in my head, and I tend to doubt if what I'm doing is okay. Is it right? Does it make sense? Is it working? Because I'm having this complete human experience along with you guys, but I'm so grateful to be having it with you guys and be sharing everything that I have learned, because I feel like I needed to understand this about myself in order to understand who I am and literally change my self-concept, my inner being, like the core of who I am, in order for me to be able to have different core experiences in my outer world. So thank you again. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow for day 19. Good night.